insulation from our experts.
All right, today we're going to go over one of those really hard topics of open cell versus closed cell spray foam. They both are very good in a lot of aspects. We are currently in temperate zone 5. What that means is we've got a lot of moisture. In Texas and other places, the moisture drive is totally different than what it is here. So ultimately, being aware of how you're going to heat and cool your house is what's going to be the major factor, and also your HVAC system, and if you need a fresh air system. Please, if you're unsure, just call me. I'm happy to talk to you and or your HVAC guy to make sure that we put you into a house that will ultimately breathe, heat, cool the way that you need it to, and you're going to control it with closed cell foam. Open cell foam, you're also going to control it, but it's going to be a totally different process than doing batt in the walls, cellulose in the attic, or fiberglass in the attic. Ultimately, here's what it boils down to. Ready? Foam. This is closed cell foam. This is open cell foam. See that? See the squish? Open cell has an R value of 3.4 to 3.8 per inch. That depends on the manufacturer, the brand, the blend. Insulation Hub has been using UPC foam for 18 months or more. We've tried other brands. We keep coming back to UPC. You know why? It's tried and true. It works for us. We understand it. We can get it dialed in and get it performing for the customer the way it's needed. Open cell foam, squishy. Good for sound deadening in our area. Good to go over closed cell foam. Okay to go on a 2x6 wall that has OSB. Not the perfect. Closed cell foam. Closed cell foam is the Ferrari. It is the fighter jet. It is the most high-tech, best quality insulation that you can potentially purchase. So, look at the difference. How they sit. Open cell squishy. Closed cell, very hard, very rigid. Closed cell foam goes from a 7.2 to a 7.8 per inch, depending on the manufacturer, depending on what brand, mixture, and what have you. All that is different per foam. Again, UPC closed cell foam is what we've been using. We prefer to go with the high lift to make sure that our customers are taken care of. If it does potentially go a little bit thicker than what it's supposed to, that is something we can talk about in person if you have questions. But these two are two different foams. Closed cell foam, very rigid, right? Here's the number one selling factor that most people ask. What's the difference? Guess what? It's water. It's moisture. Indiana, Ohio, we have a lot of it. Check out what closed cell does. It repels it. Yeah. See? It's not perfect. Your house should be sealed very tight. We're going to air seal it with the closed cell foam. We're going to make sure it has a moisture barrier as long as it has over 1.5 inches. We typically go a minimum of 2 inches because we go average depth of 2 inches across the foam, across the walls for most of our projects. We can go thicker, higher R value. We'll talk about R value in another video. Now, here's the one on closed cell as I get it all over my lap. Open cell is a sponge. Look at that. Look at that get soaked up in there. Look at that. So open cell is good when it comes to a very dry area. Or if, again, outside walls, 2x6, you've got a bigger space. Open cell will hold moisture. Now think about this. This is put in your wall. Then you put drywall over it. Guess what? Because it rained and some contractor was sloppy and they've got water in it, now it's sealed up inside your walls. Open cell will then potentially be a perfect breeding ground for mold because it is temperature and moisture, everything just perfectly into this. Closed cell, it wicked right off the other side. I advise most clients 9 times out of 10 on how they're building the home to go closed cell. We spray open cell. It requires a certain type of home, a certain type of HVAC system, and we want to make sure that we're going to make sure to keep people happy and healthy. I don't want people coming back saying that we screwed something up. I go to all these different technology seminars and learning seminars to make sure that our customers are treated with the best direction and insight possible. So when we talk about closed cell foam, big metal building, definitely. Open cell, I personally wouldn't do it. Some people do it over house wrap. I would have people investigate and figure out why. If we're going to look up here at my ceiling, this is roof rafters and metal on the underside of my shop, honestly. And it's not our prettiest foam, but be honest with you, this is where I train people. You'd rather us have practice and make sure that we know what we're doing before we come into your place. And this shop is one place that we've practiced a lot. Open cell foam. There was pinholes in the roof. Guess what? Those pinholes have been cleared. And it's not perfect, but then we've also covered it with new metal. This right here, solid. Closed cell foam, very rigid. Helps with the structural integrity of your building. So on a big pole barring that's kind of like a kite that's in your backyard, right across the field or what have you, it helps the structural integrity 200%. So if you do 2 inches, you're at 200% increase in the structural integrity of your building versus just the wood, just the metal beams, what have you. Open cell foam doesn't provide any of that. Closed cell foam provides the vapor barrier, has a higher R value per inch, and also structural integrity. Ultimately, let's talk about your project and see how we can help, closed cell or open cell. Thanks.